This week we're doing Devil in a New Dress by Kanye West, produced by Bink and Mike Dean. Let's go ahead and hear the main sample for the track from the song Will You Love Me Tomorrow by Smokey Robinson.
Tonight with words unspoken,
So first that gets pitched up one semitone. Then to make some room for the bass we're going to add, we get rid of the low end, cut out everything below, say, 250 hertz. Then we want it to sound bright and airy, so we hype the highs a little bit. Starts to sound like this. And there's two other samples from this track that Bink used. We've got this one. And this one. And what's great about the sections he picked is that in the original track, they couldn't be further apart. You've got one at like 2 minutes, one at 3.5, one at 4.5. They're all over the place. They have absolutely nothing to do with one another. But he heard these different parts and he knew he could build something from them. And the way he puts them together, it sounds like a singular thing. It sounds like that's how it always was. But in the original track, it's just totally different. So let's go ahead and see how he puts those together. The drums in this track are sort of made to sound live. They sound like real drums, and they've got this sort of laid-back, almost lazy feel to them. We've got our kick, a snare, some hi-hat sounds, some toms, and a crash cymbal. So I'll go ahead and play the drum pattern once on its own, then bring in the sample. Next up is the bass line played live by Mike Dean, and it pretty much mirrors the bass from the original track. He just put his own spin on it. On top of that, we've got some synthesized strings. They follow some melodies in the sample, layer in right on top, and help bring those out to the forefront. So let's hear those strings once through on their own, then I'll bring in the sample. About halfway through the track, we hit this breakdown. Things sort of slow down, and this piano comes in. And then we've got a couple different guitar parts, of course, just like the bass and the piano, played by Mike Dean. First, we've got these short chords. And then we've got a part that pretty much plays the same thing as the bass, just on guitar. And then of course the guitar solo, which I tried my best at. It turned out okay, so here it is. That covers all the elements to this track, and I'll go ahead and play the finished sequence version in just a minute here. But before I do, I want to remind you, as always, to head over to beatbreakdown.net, where I've got project files for download in Machine, FL Studio, and Ableton file formats, and where I've got a new tutorial series going called the Start From Scratch series. Teaches you everything you need to know to get started making beats with just your computer. You don't have to go out and buy a ton of gear, a ton of software. You can get started today. And if you sign up with the code DEVIL, you'll get half off your first month. It's a great deal from me to you. And I've been streaming both here on YouTube and over at Twitch. You've probably been seeing those pop up in your feed for a while now. We've been doing the weekly beat critiques where people send in their tracks. I play them on the stream, share what I think. People in the chat share what they think. Great way to get some honest feedback from me and everyone watching. Find out what you're doing wrong, what you're doing right. So if you make music, if you just want to see what people have been working on, definitely recommend dropping by one of those. It's a good time. And that covers everything. So I'll see you on the next episode of Beat Breakdown.